18 of the most unique homes found around the world. Number 18. The Plane House in Nigeria. A couple who wanted to share their love for traveling decided to build a part of their home into the shape of an airplane. Inside the plane section is a kitchen and a computer room. The homeowners were thrilled with the result of their dream home, which is located in a city in Nigeria called Abuja. Number 17. The Glass House in Tokyo. Also known as House Na, this glass house is designed to utilize natural light as the main focus of design. Since it is mostly made up of glass panels and is located in the midst of a moderately populated street in Tokyo, this home seriously lacks privacy. The 914 square foot home was built to resemble a treehouse with layers of different living spaces built throughout the structure. Number 16. Dar alHajar in Yemen. If you stood at the base of this summer home, you would have to crane your neck just to see the top. While this rock palace is certainly large and luxurious enough to be mistaken for a fancy hotel or museum, it is, in fact, the summer home of a man named Imam Yahya. Built in the 1930s, this imposing structure was entirely carved from the natural rock in the surroundings. Nowadays, you can visit and tour the palace and get a breathtaking 360-degree view of the landscape around you. Number 15. The Vertical House in Rio de Janeiro. In Rio de Janeiro, two brothers Tiago and Gabriel Primo worked together to build a house on a vertical wall in their neighborhood. The home includes shelving, hammock, beds, counters, and other small items such as small tables and hanging plants. All items are attached to the side of the wall, and the brothers live life rather normally. The home does not have a bathroom, so when nature calls, they have to walk next door and use the one inside the art gallery next door. Number 14. The Solar House in Eastern France. This stunning home can be found nestled in the rolling hills of Eastern France. The house is a bioclimatic solar house which both conserves energy as well as reduces the home's carbon footprint. The glass-windowed house is designed to function as a three-dimensional sundial that keeps the temperature warm during the fall and winter seasons and cools down during the spring and summer. Number 13. The Modern Houseboat in Seattle, Washington. Jim Olson designed and created the seaworthy beauty to reside on the coastal waters of Seattle, Washington. The house itself may only be a total of 1,000 square feet, but what it doesn't have in space, it makes up with amazingly beautiful views. With wraparound windows, luxury amenities, waterfront access, and epic skyline views, this is one houseboat you'll never want to leave. Number 12. The One Log House in Garberville, California. This is a one-bedroom home that was carved from a fallen 2,100-year-old redwood tree. Art Schmock and just one other helper spent 8 months carving out the center of the tree. After it had been completed, the tree was transformed into a room that measured 7 feet high and 32 feet long. Since redwood trees are excellent at standing up against weathering and external damage, it seems to be a pretty perfect place to create a home. No exterior siding needed. Number 11. The Egg Mobile Home in Hunan, China. 24-year-old Dai Haifei created this egg-shaped mobile home so that he could cut some of the time he spent traveling to work. The home cost about $1,000 to build and is made up of bamboo strips, mattress pieces, and a layer of insulation material that can grow grass once the weather begins to warm up. Number 10. The Wooden Skyscraper House in Arkhangelsk, Russia. The house was designed and created by a Russian gangster named Nikolai Sutyagin. When he began construction, he originally wanted it to be comprised of just 2 stories. But after visiting areas of Japan and Norway, he was inspired to add addition after addition to the steady growing home. Over the next 15 years, he turned the original 2-story into a 13-story home with a 144-foot tower. A few years after its completion, Nikolai was arrested and sent to jail after being convicted of previous crimes. While he was held in jail, the city demolished the home since Nikolai never secured the appropriate permits to build the structure in the first place. Number 9. The Hobbit Home in Wales. Simon Dale was inspired by J.R.R. Tolkien's famous novel, The Hobbit, enough to design and create a home that is very close to the homes in the actual book. With a budget of $5,200, Dale recruited the help of his friends to begin the 1,500 man-hour long process that would result in the fantasy house's completion. It is made up of all natural materials and is seen as one of the most eco-friendly structures in the world. Number 8. The Neverwas Haul from California. The Neverwas Haul house is a 3-story self-propelled mobile art design turned home vehicle, which was designed to resemble a Victorian steampunk house on wheels. It was inspired by the stories of Jules Verne and H.G. and created by Shannon O'Hare and a team from the Shipyard in Berkeley, California. While no one actually lives inside, you can see the creation at Obtainium Works, which is an art car factory in Vallejo, California. Number 7. The Dome Home in Pensacola, Florida. This home uses a dome shape to be able to withstand fierce hurricane-force winds during the hurricane season, which occurs once a year along the southern coast. The home is able to withstand winds of up to 300 miles per hour and even a direct hit from a hurricane. The home sits on 16 pilings, which are each driven 17 feet down into the sand. The house lived up to its purpose and fared well through Hurricane Ivan, whereas the neighboring houses on either side were swept away by the storm. Number 6. The upside-down house in Szymbark, Poland. The upside-down house was inspired and built as a statement about the communist era and the end of the world. Polish philanthropist Daniel Szapowski commissioned and designed the house, which took 114 days since the workers kept getting so disoriented by the angles of the house while building. The house's interior is decorated with 1970s era furniture and decor, complete with the propaganda of the time coming from the television set. Those who visit the house these days often leave seasick after only being inside for a few moments. Number 5. The Bubble House in Tourette-sur-Loup, France. This futuristic-looking home was designed back in the 1970s and is still currently being built today. The house was designed by Hungarian architect Antti Lovak for the fashion designer and mogul Pierre Cardin. The house was designed to take advantage of the volcanic landscape while giving stunning views of the Mediterranean. And while it may not be quite finished, that doesn't stop the French Ministry of Culture from listing it as a historic monument. Number 4. The Walking House. A Chinese man named Liu Lingchao shocked and impressed us when he began his journey from the city he had worked in to the province of Guangxi, his hometown. The journey took him 5 years to complete, and throughout the entire journey, he carried a makeshift, recycled portable home so he could continue his journey without having to constantly seek and pay for shelter. The house is only a few square feet, but it is enough to see him through his adventures. Number 3. Hearst Castle in San Simeon, California. William Randolph Hearst was the American newspaper publisher who built the nation's largest newspaper chain to date. In 1919, he wrote a letter to architect Julia Morgan asking for a little something to be built since he had grown tired of camping out in the open at the ranch. Morgan more than obliged and presented Hearst with a colossal castle that hosts 165 rooms and 127 acres of perfectly groomed gardens, pools, paths, and hidden treasures. The castle is open to the public for tours, but you might want to plan to stay for more than one day because since the palace is so big, you'll have to participate in 5 separate tours before you'll have seen the entire place. Number 2. The Nautilus House in Mexico City. A couple commissioned a seashell-inspired house and hired design firm Sinosian Arquitectos to oversee the job. The house was created using a design technique that uses a frame of steel reinforced chicken wire coated with a 2-inch thick layer of specialized concrete, which creates a structure that is both earthquake-proof and very low maintenance. Number 1. The Cliff House in Victoria, Australia. The architects and designers at Modscape created a conceptual property that is permanently perched above the Australian Ocean. The house was created for couples who are exploring options for a holiday or vacation home. From far away, the house hangs off the face of the cliff the same way that a barnacle clings to the side of a ship. The decorations and furniture are kept as minimal as possible as to not distract from the expansive and breathtaking views of the ocean around you. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this every week. See you next time. For better.